Everybody, it's so good.
I just want to sniff it.
We're drinking Brooklyn the Peat Project today.
Sorry, this is my obnoxious sniffing of the.
You have smell-o-vision.
Yeah, it's like I'm awake now. Like I need a candle that smells like
I
this.
love the peatiest. By the way, I have a candle that smells like
Oh, yeah. I feel like I can finish this research project that I've been stuck on. Like, I'm good. Let's do this.
I don't know where it went because from the move. I mean, I've been looking for it, but I actually have a candle that smells just like peaty scotch.
Yes, I need it.
I got it for Nick for Christmas.
I've got about 6 pages of
secretly for me for Christmas.
I love those gifts. That I was like, what I got you, asked me, really, because
I got him a pizza oven 1 year.
Yeah, those are my favorite gifts.
Even when I got him the Randall for brewing last year, it's secretly so that I can have Randall beer. Also, today I'm showcasing my newest knit project.
Woo!
It's technically supposed to be honeycombs, but I like it because it looks like chemistry.
I do like it. Yeah, like compounds.
Yeah,
is that the right word?
Sure.
Chemical compounds.
Molecules.
Yeah,
chemistry.
I know some words. Not all of them.
I also have a Patreon announcement. I'm going to save it for the actual cast because Grace doesn't know what it is yet. But the visual aspect,
surprises.
Ready? Ba, ba,
That was really good. We didn't even rehearse that.
The dog just came running because she didn't know what just happened.
She's like, where is it? What's happening? I want
compliments a friend of the podcast, my mother, has first season of Farscape.
Nixie's mommy, thank you.
For Grace.
Yeah. Guys, guess what I'm watching during Christmas break?
And guess what? You're going to record little things after each episode?
After each episode, I'm going to record a something.
Okay.
And here's what may happen because it's me.
Yeah.
And I've been so like, I've gotten far enough into Stargate where I want to binge watch and I know I can.
Yeah.
So I may channel that into Farscape.
There you go.
So I may end up recording them all in one day, but I'm not going to upload them that way.
Well, I know someone will be coming down in mid-January that can probably bring season 2 for you.
Yeah. Weird. Why is she coming in mid-January?
Or, I think a box is being sent down if you need one before January.
Yeah. I like things.
I don't know. There's just something happening in January where some gathering of people to dance and drink.
A murder of people.
It's a murder of people.
I don't know. I was trying to find a good one.
It's a gaggle of people. It's a hobgoblin of people. It's
yeah, I like hobgoblin. Let's just stay there.
It's a hobgoblin of people.
Let's just make up just words.
Yeah, just words.
A dice bag of people.
Alrighty. I'm going to see if I can get this lighting a little. Oh, I can't because there's flowers there. Hey, guys, want to see something cool? Speaking of that thing, check out all of these. I have 100 of these things that I have enslaved people like a ghoul to make.
Look at that. Look at that.
I have enslaved people like ghouls to make these things.
Us did our best and are only allowed certain jumps.
But to be fair, those are the boys.
Yes.
Come here, curtain. Okay, that's a little happier. We're recording in a completely different time of the day, and you can tell that the sun is completely different in here.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We don't know what's happening.
We don't really know what's happening. If you can turn the flame on.
Yeah.
It evens things out a little way, but that's okay. Once I get into the
beautiful.
Once a podcast. Alrighty. We ready? Yes. What episode of 151?
151.
Alrighty. Welcome to episode 151, First Watch Rewatch Podcast. I am Nixie.
And today we're going over season 7, episode 20. AKA Dumb Clip Show, AKA This Is My First Day, which is my favorite line of the whole thing. I shared this with the Patreon peeps, but I'm saying it again. we have gotten far enough into this show
Yeah.
where every part of me just wants to binge watch it.
And she is being she isn't.
Hulu is the evil temptress.
It is.
It's like,
do you want to watch the next episode?
Next episode starts in 15 seconds. All you're going to do is sit there for 15 seconds and do nothing about it. Just keep it going. And to add to my insanity, to add to the life that is Grace right now, which includes trying to finish a research paper that I've been working on since September, that I deleted all of the data for. On top of that, trying to finish the stuff for all the other classes, on top of a last-minute project presentation that one of our teachers put on. It's like, hey, so real quick, we're all done. We're ahead of the schedule. So for
do this extra work.
Yeah, for the last day, you all have a 5-minute presentation.
To be fair, 5 minutes you can bullshit your way through with your eyes closed.
It's true. It's true. But it's the idea. It's like we were all like, yes, he's gonna let us not come in on the last day. It's gonna be party time. Yes.
Excellent.
Aww. Anyway, on top of this life that is life-tacular, I get a clip show.
Yeah, you get a
I'm
clip
a
show.
little bit bummed, but that's okay.
To be fair, there's some interesting stuff going on in the background of this clip show.
And there's some pretty good actors here.
And we then get the 2-part season finale, which we are watching as 2 parts. I am making Grace suffer the way we did.
Yes. And I have to keep that in mind, that when you guys
to the
watch,
point of, I don't
this
think we can watch the DVD version because I'm pretty sure I have to double check. The DVD may have it as one because I know the producers are like, it's one thing.
By
but
the way,
syndication says no.
Stargates are now all available on Amazon Prime if you're an Amazon Prime person.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I know. I have 4 ways to watch it.
This is not an ad.
Listen, the more Stargate can infiltrate the world, the better.
It.
So I also have, as we're talking about Patreon, do you'd say what you're going to do starting sometime this month for Patreon?
Yeah, starting probably
as soon as finals are done.
Like, this comes out on Tuesday, a week from Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
Friend of the pod, Nixie's
mom,
got us a copy of Farscape.
It's her copy.
Her copy for us to borrow. I wanted to have like the little library card inside.
Yeah, I know.
Also, it's top secret. Nobody tell domestic partner Jesse this, but I'm getting him some for Christmas.
It's awesome.
For his library that he's now archived and cataloged. But I want a little library card like this is checked out to Grace.
There you go.
Anyway, I've got Farscape. It's gonna get watched.
It's gonna get watched. It's gonna get talked about on the Patreon.
I'm gonna gush about it. I may binge it, but the episodes will still go up like probably once a week.
Yeah. I have said that while you do fart, I am going to do a weekly ago.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
I can't do it.
No.
I have gone through and started watching Battlestar, and I want to love this show. I can't. The first season has some real interesting things, okay, but after that, I'm like, I can't. I just, it was me.
It would be like, this is fine. Bye.
Yeah, I really, really want to like the show because I really love some of the actors in it, and I really find what the premise of what they're doing could be so interesting.
Not happening.
I just can't do it.
Battlestar's the one with Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, and I love him.
Jaime Escalante himself.
I love him. And there's again, the whole cast I love.
Yeah.
I just okay, so I have a substitute, one that I'm actually excited about. And it's funny because someone on our Facebook mentioned this show, which confirmed my need to do this show.
Okay.
Instead, I'm going to be doing a watch-along commentary track once a week to Sequest DSV.
How has that not already happened?
I don't know, but I'm doing it for the Patreon people.
Do it for the Patreon.
Once a week, I am going to press play on Sequest and do a commentary track.
This is great. I may listen to it.
Watch along.
Yeah.
With Nixie's random musings and hardcore crushing on Lucas Wallencheck.
I love it.
And Darwin.
Well, I mean, smart.
And And it's a dolphin.
He's smart and he's a dolphin.
It's a dolphin.
Done.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
Can we call them dolphin casts?
Dolphin casts, done. I am hopefully going to start next week.
I like it.
With dolphin casts.
This week on dolphin cast.
Exactly. I am not. This is happening.
I love it. I'm very excited.
This new year, I know, guys, it's been sort of a rough year with the Patreon, and we haven't done as much as we wanted to on there. But 2019 is a brand new year. We have awesome things in plan.
It's a big bold goal.
It's a big bold goal. We have some Farscape. We have some Sequest.
We're getting it done.
We're getting it done. Pod cards. Our November ones are going out this week.
Yeah.
December ones will be out before the end of the year.
I don't even know that we were that bad all of 2018. I think we just had a rough, what's it called in business? Like a rough fourth quarter?
Rough fourth quarter.
Or whatever quarter.
But it's been some months, and you guys are awesome for sticking with us. And yeah, so
on to the show.
Episode time.
Baby. Okay, got it.
Alrighty. This first aired
March. We're drinking whiskey. That's the kind of day we're having.
Yeah, we're drinking straight high-end Brooklyn Laddie Peat Project Scotch.
And because it's me, I've got a little more training wheels on. A couple more ice cubes than the average.
Call out to Isla, who makes the best Scotch, and I will fight anyone who says differently. To be fair, we're just gonna end up drinking Scotch. So anyone who wants to say differently, let's just have a taste off.
Okay.
So this first aired February 5th, 2004, written by Joe and Paul, directed by Peter Wostel. It's a clip show, baby.
Dun, dun, dun.
I would say...
It does bum me a little bit.
It does bum me, yes, but I will say I enjoy this clip show like more than Disclosure.
Okay.
I think this one has a little more meat in the back of it, and any episode that plots against Kinsey, I'm a fan of.
Well, it does build some things, and it does give a nice little redemption arc to a character.
Yeah.
So to me, the fun part of the clip shows is going, wait, what episode was that?
Yeah, trying to name the episodes.
Wait, when did that happen? Because not only is this my first watch, I've got the worst freaking memory for this kind. And like, you know this about me. I'm great if I meet a person and I know their name forever, and I know random facts, but I am not good with like pop culture.
Listen, I've been watching this show. How many times have I seen this show? And I'm still like, I don't know the name of that episode. Or you name an episode, and I'm like, I can't tell you what happened by the name.
I think at some point, I want to say like at 32, my brain was like, we're done. We no longer retain information.
I've watched this show how many times, and sometimes I barely remember like the major things. I remember what season it happened to, but like I sometimes don't remember what season things happen in.
Yeah. Some
of the, side things. It's like, had you told me before we started doing this, if you went, quick, what season is Full Circle in? And I was like, it's a season ender of one of those middle seasons.
Yeah.
Like, it's
your mom's season. Leave me alone, crazy person.
So we have a brand new president this episode, played by William Devine, who is known to many for playing Greg Sumner on Knots Landing, the classic soap opera that it is.
So I have to share something awesome.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know this guy.
He's a very familiar face.
And both you and Jess, you're like, very familiar character actors everywhere. And I was like,
plays every political figure Kennedy-like person
and
ever.
I was like, fine. I'm going to IMDb him and see what I know him from. It's like, you probably know him from West Wing or this and that. And I'm going through and I'm like, maybe I know him. Maybe, this is the thing I know him from.
What is it?
Do you want to know the thing I know him from?
What is it?
It is a mid-90s sitcom that was on for one season called Phenom.
That's awesome.
Where the mom is played by Judith Life, the boss herself.
Oh my God.
And the girl is like a tennis phenom, and she's a teenager.
Wow.
And she's got the chubby, dark-haired friend. I wonder why Grace remembers this.
I wonder why.
And it's like her best friend. And I looked it up to make sure I didn't dream it. It's real. He was in it. He plays her coach.
Wow.
Yeah. That's where I know.
People know him.
Wait.
Yeah.
A little bit of trivia on Phenom.
Okay.
The little sister was played by Ashley Johnson. The one in
Power Ranger?
No.
Ashley. Amy Jo Johnson. Sorry.
Ashley Johnson, who grew up on Growing Pains. I best know her as the voice of Ellie in The Last of Us. Amazing voice actress. If you're a fan of the D&D show Critical Role,
Okay.
she's on that.
Gotcha.
She's one of those like popular voice actor people
Yeah.
I love
Okay.
with all of my heart.
Well,
Okay,
other people know him as James Heller on 24.
Oh, hey, that's a thing.
He got a really, really early start playing Kennedys. You can
Oh,
see
that
why
makes
he would
sense.
play. He played both John and Robert,
Yeah.
like fairly close to each other.
Quick, we need a Kennedy. Get him in here.
Also, Wiki told me that his father was FDR's chauffeur when FDR was the
What?
governor of New York.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Jeebus.
According to the always true source of Wikipedia.
Mhm.
He in West Wing, he played the Secretary of State. He was the president in Dark Knight Rises. He does all of these political roles because he has that face and the
Sure, yeah.
demeanor.
He
Like
does.
it's yeah. And if Maynard looks familiar, it's
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was Arthur Fancy in NYPD Blue for like ever.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know that one. I
Okay.
never watched it, but I know he got like was very critically
Got
acclaimed
it.
for that. He was also in Cop Rock.
Oh my god! I know Cop Rock, but I know Cop Rock because of Gilmore Girls.
The other reason he may be familiar is because he played James McDaniels is his name. He played Malcolm X in Spike Lee's Malcolm X.
Oh yeah,
Which
that's
is
pretty big.
probably where most people
Ding,
recognize
ding,
the face
ding.
from.
Got it.
Also, fun fact:
Yes.
the White House set that they use in this
Yeah.
is the White House from another film of the era,
Oh
X-Men 2.
wow. Oh, it's like what came out
On a new president's first day, probably hours after
my
inauguration.
first day.
And Stan is giving him his first briefing. The president of Togo was deposed 6 hours ago, and the New York Times is launching an investigation into voting irregularities.
It's very Sorkin inspired.
It's very
intro.
Sorkin.
A walk and talk.
And
It's
there's
walk and talk.
a storm about to hit Maine,
Yeah.
and the president is like, look at all the pretty
Yeah.
busts around.
Something block of cheese.
God, I love the block of cheese episodes. Guys, I'm a huge fan of West Wing.
Yeah.
Someday I might do that on the Patreon too.
That would be fun.
It would be. I would just be a love fest. Anyway, Togo is in West Africa, right before the curve.
Okay.
It has Ghana and Benin on either sides of it. It's like
Okay.
a really skinny, tall, narrow country.
Okay. Okay.
And it's
Where the hurricanes come from.
yeah. So this guy, I'm not even gonna try to say. I mean, Grace, there's
Oh, I don't know that I can say that.
yeah,
either.
it's a very difficult name to pronounce if
try
you did
it,
not go 67. He took over the presidency after he led a bloodless coup. So this could be who they were talking about, that he was being died suddenly in 2005. And is in February of 2005, after 38 years in power. It was the longest occupation of any dictator in Africa. And it's been sort of, as you would say, a complicated election history since then. And his son has been president since he died.
Interesting.
So yeah.
That's weird. I didn't know you could pass down your political office. But
Well, he did, and then he was like, "Oh, we're gonna have free elections," and then as it normally goes, guess who was elected president? And there's like, some sketchness and how that happens, and it's a long history. But yeah. So if they're talking about the president, Togo was disposed, that's probably who it was. But I also can't imagine that the U.S. president would be calling him.
Right.
Since he was like a
maybe
dictator.
it was just like, hey, you need to know this thing.
Hey, you should
be aware.
Be aware that just let the presidency go.
Aware of person.
Also, my other thing was
I just found the Kaylee Thor.
You found the Kaylee Thor?
I jumped.
The other thing is he said he was going to call him at 10, but the president is inaugurated at noon, so I didn't know if he meant 10 at night.
You would think they'd run on military time.
Yes, maybe 10 the next day?
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're not going to think about it.
Just drink some more scotch.
Like it.
So,
okay. okay for this episode.
Drink some more scotch.
Just drink some more scotch.
I like it. So eventually they make it to the Oval Office. And what do you know? Before the president can even just break in his new digs on his own, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs is waiting for him. Like, breaks in the Oval Office. Not breaks in, but gets to break in the Oval Office.
Into the Oval Office. Drops in like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
He bamfs in like Nightcrawler.
Scotch is already kicking in.
8-2 Electric Boogaloo.
I like it.
And not let the most shoeless Joe Jackson feet into the carpet.
I mean, that's what I would do too.
Hell yeah.
All the things.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to use the fancy bathroom that probably nobody is allowed to use.
And a butt all over the toilet seat.
Yeah, why not?
Because I'm the president. But that moment he's enjoying is over. General Maynard needs to brief Hayes on a program they've been running out of Cheyenne Mountain for 7 years.
What could that be?
Don't know. NORAD. Which confuses Hayes because he already
something telemetry, space telemetry.
Space telemetry. Space.
Blah blah blah. Okay.
And it confuses the president because he already had his top secret briefing, and Maynard's like, "Yeah, this is double secret.
This is
probation,
top ear secret,
super top secret,
top of the tops, top of the pops." No, I'm gonna stop talking, guys.
So Hayes,
but also the program on Cheyenne Mountain sounds like a Lifetime movie.
Ooh,
like Not Without My Daughter, the program on Cheyenne Mountain.
The top of Cheyenne Mountain. Meet me at the top of Cheyenne Mountain.
I'm not human today.
If we reach 40 and still aren't married, meet me at the top of Cheyenne Mountain.
Oh, that's one too.
Yeah.
What movie is that? That's an actual movie.
That's Sleepless in Seattle.
Is that what Sleepless in Seattle is?
Well, they don't. It's not when they're 40, but they meet at the top of the Empire State Building.
But there's one where there's a pact. There's a pact.
Isn't that when Harry Met Sally?
Nope, that's not when Harry Met Sally. Is just that they're best friends. I know this. Give me 1 second. It's Sarah Jessica Parker.
Then I definitely do not know
Lucy fell.
Okay.
If Lucy fell.
I haven't even heard of that one.
I'm going to find it, make sure, right?
So anyway, Hayes gets the elevator pitch for the Stargate program, and he assumes it's a joke for his first day, and he's like, I got a sense of humor, you got a sense of humor, we all have senses of humor, but no. The U.S. Air Force has been sending people to other planets for the past 7 years by the means of an alien device known as the Stargate. Credits.
Dun, 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 dun. It's Sarah Jessica Parker. Ben Stiller's in it, but he does not play the lead. The lead is some guy I've never met. It is called If Lucy Fell. Okay, but
so this part reminds me of everything reminds me of Independence Day, but it reminds me of the part of Independence Day where they're like, Area 51, and the president's like, what do you mean there's Area 51?
Yeah.
Where they're like, we have things to tell you, President.
Here are the things that you need to know. Yeah. This episode is tough for me to get into. There is good stuff here, and I apologize ahead of time.
This is going to be a fun episode, guys.
But it does. It is very, I like our president. You can already feel that he's kind of a good guy.
He is.
Because he's got, you know why? Because he's very Jack-like.
He is fairly Jack-like.
I think I would love to see those two in a room together.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Because he'd be like, so did you put your feet in the carpet yet? And he's like, yeah. And I dropped a large poop in the toilet as well. Only you'd probably not call it a poop, you'd call it, I don't know, some other
deuce.
Yeah, there you go. You dropped a deuce.
I dropped a deuce in the toilet. So we come back from credits.
They can't make me flush it.
If you want to know which party won, it's whatever party Kinsey is in.
Yeah.
And I will not hold that against the party.
Fair.
So Hayes bursts into his office, into Kinsey's office, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
We've been running together and you didn't tell me and you knew about it. Kinsey was under some gag order, but he's known for 6 years. He couldn't tell Hayes even when he was president-elect. And the important part to Kinsey is for Hayes to know how poorly the Stargate program is being mismanaged and how imperative it is that we replace everyone immediately.
Of course.
He has recommendations of who to replace people with. Don't worry, I got
It
this
just
covered.
goes to show how bad he is at this.
Yes.
You,
So
you
bad.
don't start there, even when that's the truth. You go,
Yeah.
yep. Now let me show you some things on it.
Because even Hayes is like, can we like take 2 steps back here before we dive in? Can we just...
You're salivating,
Yeah.
basically.
You're drooling on your table there a bit, Kinsey.
Mhm.
But no, Kinsey wants to move forward. He says, like, it was the military, it's the previous administration. He wants Hayes and Kinsey to be divided on this. It needs to be the first thing that you take care of.
My notes for this were the VP is butthole Kinsey saying butthole things. In case anyone was wondering.
And again,
Right.
Kinsey is like, this is my first day.
Yeah.
Can I take a breath?
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, you just got elected president. You get to take a breath again for 48 years.
Yeah.
And Hayes is like, look, if you want me to do anything, you have to convince me first. So
Yeah.
right on him for not taking whatever.
Yeah, everything at face value. Yeah.
So back in the Oval Office, Hayes skims files with General Maynard. He runs down the list of the crazy shit SG-1 has done, including our favorite, blowing up a sun. She's got to look great on a resume, Hayes says. And Maynard is clearly on the opposite side of Kinsey. He's clearly on SG-1's side, the Stargate Command side, Hammond side. He's a bit of a fanboy, it sounds like.
Oh, he's a big fan of Hammond.
Big fan.
Yeah.
But to be fair, who's not?
Right.
Well,
I feel like he's like, would give anything to work with Hammond.
He would just do anything just to sit down and have a drink with them or something.
Man, please.
He gives them mad props for saving the world so many times. And he goes, look, we didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Yeah. We just saw it before it attacked us. We just saw the fire before it burned us down.
Yeah. This analogy is getting hard, but I'm going to stay on it.
Do it.
For reasons. We made a fire break of the fire.
We did make a fire break.
Burning. I'm all done.
Because counterintuitively, sometimes in order to stop a fire, you have to start a fire.
You have to fight the fire with the fire.
But mind you, we didn't start the fire.
Nope.
And
then he just went through a history lesson. Yes. What if in this world, like, they didn't know who Billy Joel was?
Richard Nixon, Studebaker, television, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. Also, I do know all the words to that song.
I know them, but not all at once.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I like Billy Joel. So we then get a clip from
Rock and Roller Cola Wars. I can't
take it anymore.
That's the only part I always hit every time.
Anyway, so Hayes flats out asks, he's like, you don't trust the vice president, do you? And Maynard's like, not as far as I can throw him.
That's gonna be a capital nope.
But he says it more diplomatically, and that probably Kinsey has his own agenda. And he doesn't want to shut the Stargate program down anymore. He just wants to control it.
Which is not good times.
It's not good times, but highly accurate.
Yeah.
We get a clip from Disclosure, the last clip show. It's like Clipception.
Whoa, you're right. I forgot that was a clip show.
Clipception. AKA for the episode.
Yikes.
When Kinsey literally admitted he wanted the NID to run the gate program. Mm-hmm. And because it only stopped because Thor popped in, like that Kinsey's gamble didn't work.
Yeah. And
we get, again, the amazing moment where Thor shuts Kinsey down with a shut the fuck up finger, waggle at the right time.
Yeah. You gotta love Thor. He's good for stuff.
We love Thor. So back in the Oval Office, out of the clip, Hayes gets the feeling that Kinsey's desire for the program is more than just because he should run it. And he admits he has a bad feeling about where some of the campaign financing may have come from.
He's just that guy, like, there's always a guy in well, not always, but in workplaces, there's always a guy who is doing things under the pretense of bettering the company, but it's really just their own ambition.
Yeah. And
they can't seem to see that everybody else sees that it's nothing but their own personal desire to be the powerful person thing.
Yeah.
He's just gross.
So back in Kinsey's office, Woolsey meets with him and guarantees that Woolsey will get the president to fall in line.
I've changed Woolsey's name to Dorkface.
Dorkface?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's who he is.
Okay, Dorkface.
Starface.
So, in the next scene, we have all 4 players in the Oval Office. Essentially, the only 4 players in this episode. From Maynard's
This
end,
episode is nice in that it could play out like a play.
It is. It's very play-like.
It's all one setting. It's
Uh-huh.
all just the actors acting at each other.
This is the Sorkin episode.
Right, which goes to show how strong these actors are.
If Sorkin did a clip episode,
It would be this
it
episode.
would be this episode.
The Sorkin clip show. Got it.
From Maynard's end, any report about the competence of the running of the SGC should have Hammond involved. But Dorkface says that actually Hammond is part of the problem. Which Maynard is like, back the fuck up.
He's like, I'm about to throw hands.
Come again for Big Fudge. No.
Yeah.
He's having none of the Hammond disrespecting.
No.
And Woolsey tries to calm him down. He's like, look, this isn't a trial, although it may come to that. And we're like, fuck you, Woolsey. Shut up.
Yeah.
Hayes wants the evidence. He's like, I hear a lot of big talk. Give me something to do. So Woolsey's like, fine.
Thank goodness for the rational brain in the room.
He goes, let's start with the whole incident that led up to Janet's death. And he starts leading to say that SG-1 also is highly questionable in their actions and basically incompetent. And again, Maynard's like, fuck you. Those people are heroes.
Here's the thing. If you took a list of every mistake that I've made,
I know.
I would look like a piece of shit, incompetent asshole as well.
Anyone would.
Anyone would. Let's just completely leave out all the successes and the times that they've saved our ass from the universe.
Yeah.
But you know what it feels like? It feels like a shitty boss giving you a review.
It does.
Like, I'm just going to focus. It's like, well, look, none of these things are lies, but there's more to it than that.
And Kinsey's like, well, it's like, I'm not going to deny the good things they've done, but you also can't ignore the misconduct, he says. And he continues, but their disregard for military authority, their poor judgment, compromised national security. And Hayes is like, let's cut the crap. These people fight aliens.
Yeah.
Like,
blah, blah,
can
blah.
we get to specifics, please? So Woolsey's like, yeah, sure. And he brings up the time and upgrades his insubordination with the whole superhero gauntlets.
Oh, yeah. That's the one episode I remembered. I actually knew the name of it. And I was like, one. I love this episode.
It's so good.
And I forgot about the Roadrunner effect that they used.
And Maynard's like, to be fair, A, they did knock out a gold mothership. Mm-hmm. And B, they were under the influence of alien device.
True.
And so Woolsey,
and they'd eaten like 3 steaks apiece.
So Woolsey brings out these 4 like giant
with your mind.
folders and points out how many times they've been under alien influence.
Yeah.
Which doesn't paint the best picture.
It's kind of like you never want to see what your HR folder looks like, but you kind of also want to see your HR. And I have a boss who's told me, he goes, as much as I don't want to encourage you, the best moves in life I've made were the ones that got me into a little bit of trouble.
Better to ask forgiveness and permission.
Yeah. So he's a pretty good guy.
And he points out, like, Sam had a Tok'ra in her brain and then was taken over by a computer, an entity. And then there's Daniel. I mean, you can't even count how many times he's been under the influence.
Imagine if this conversation were taking place in any other room with any other set of people. How you would be like, you all are insane. Take your aluminum foil hat.
He had 12 people in his brain.
Yeah. Imagine you're just sitting in like a party, right? And then you're like having beers.
Oh, and then he died and ascended to a different plane of existence.
Yeah.
And then came back.
Imagine you're sitting there, right? You pick the cool kid room. It's like the room without all the sounds or the beer bong, and there's some douchebag playing his acoustic guitar.
For sure.
There's always one.
Just doodling away.
And some guy's like, yeah, so my brother's in this program and they protect us from aliens. And he had 12 people in his brain one time, and then this other thing happened. You'd be like, you're full of so much shit.
So much shit.
Yeah, it's like,
how are you saying on the straight face?
Yeah.
How high are you?
Yeah, what did you take? Oh, what are you on right now? Should we be concerned?
Are they mushrooms?
Yeah.
And we cut to scenes from Meridian.
Yeah.
And then there's Teal'c, who's an alien soldier
Yeah.
who has full security clearance at their most secret facility. And Maynard's like, no, he earned that. Thank you, fuck very much.
Yeah. I did forget about Meridian because I was like, when was Sam in her PJs?
Oh, and you mean Entity?
Oh, that was it. Yeah,
that's
right.
Entity.
That was Entity. Yeah.
And Woolsey points out that the whole time that Teal'c rejoins Apophis and enemies, and brainwashing aside.
Please. Yeah.
Oh, and then there's Jack, who's had like alien contagions more than a half a dozen times.
I really did expect the president to be like, he sounds like a cool guy. We should go fishing.
Experimented on by aliens a whole bunch of times, had memories manipulated a few times. Oh, and then had the whole ancient database repository downloaded to his mind, cut to fifth race.
Yeah, which was pretty awesome.
So good. So Hayes is like, look, I'm amazed these people can function. Like, these people are still sane, which is amazing.
President Good Guy over here, clearly a cop major like myself. He's like, let's focus on their perspective and what they've had to deal with.
But Woolsey's going, that's my point. Like, how can we trust them to function after all of this going on for 7 years? Are they really 100% free of alien influence at this point? You know, should they be transferred? Should they at least have a sick day?
Right. He almost has a grain of truth there.
Which is, if
it weren't coming from the mouth that it's coming from.
But I think that is what is so great about Woolsey.
Yeah.
Is because through this episode, you realize that, and we'll get to it later, but like he says to Hammond, he goes, I truly do believe that we need different people running this program.
Yeah.
But he is one of the most upstanding people in a weird way in this episode.
Yeah.
He is really a man of integrity.
Yeah.
He can, what he believes, he will 100% back.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold it against Hammond.
He's truly trying to do things for good.
He is.
He just doesn't believe that Hammond and SG1
didn't realize until afterwards that he made a pact with the devil.
Right. Well, yeah. I think I'm going to put this back in D&D terms.
Do it.
That's where I live.
Do it.
The SG1 team is chaotic good.
Yes.
Sometimes chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Mostly chaotic good.
Mostly chaotic good.
But Woolsey's just full lawful good guy.
I actually think he's more. I would actually argue that he is lawful neutral.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you a lawful.
He's neutral. Lawful neutral.
He's just like follow the law. Period. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Also, I just have to tell you guys that underneath this desk, the dog has her foot, her head over my foot.
Yep.
And it is the cutest. I can't even see it, and I already know it's the cutest thing that I've ever seen in my life.
Found her.
Yeah. It's freaking adorable. Anyways, so
dogs are the best.
They are. Hayes is not buying any of this so quickly. He's like, I can't imagine what they've gone through the past 7 years, and like no one else here can.
It's true.
So they take a break.
Yeah.
And once it's just Kinsey and Hayes in the room, Kinsey shows his true colors. He is beyond pissed that Hayes is not automatically taking his side.
Right.
And for now, Hayes says he's going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, I need to know more. Like,
I can't just take your word for shit.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know you that well. And I don't particularly trust you.
And then Kinsey says that Hayes knows all he needs to know, which includes why he was elected. And then Hayes just drops, just all of a sudden, you get this whole feeling that through this whole time, you've never really seen Hayes like get super serious.
Right.
He's been sort of very Jack-like.
Yeah.
He's been fairly Jack, and all of a sudden he just fucking flips and he's like, look, I was elected by the people of this country, not by the people of this galaxy, and this is my office, motherfucker.
Yeah.
This is not yours.
Straight real quick. You wouldn't be here without me, because that's probably the truth.
Yeah.
And don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me, and don't forget whose office this is.
Yeah. Fair.
You are not president. And it's awesome. So the conversation continues.
He's trying to little finger this bullshit.
He is.
And he's like, I'm sons of Stark.
Exactly. Somehow I may still like Littlefinger over Kinsey, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a little more transparent about his shit.
His motives.
Barely.
Just barely.
Yeah.
So the conversation continues after some time. Woolsey says that SG-1 was supposed to be the first and the best line defense for the planet. And if that's true, that we should be really worried because they keep fucking things up. And last year, in Sight Unseen, the locals just started seeing invisible bugs.
I'm sorry, but the fact that it's been 7 years and the world has not been altered means they're doing a pretty damn good job.
Because how many, like, really, there's a shit ton of people that know about the Stargate program.
Right.
And the fact that hasn't been leaked.
Every day that is not leaked means it's a day they've been successful.
Exactly.
So fuck you, dude. Yeah.
And Maynard's like, yeah, we cleaned that bug shit up real nice, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
And Kinsey's like, how often are we going to have to clean up after them, though? Because just earlier this year, Hammond allowed testing of a computer virus that shut down the entire Stargate network. And somehow he twists, like, the fact that the Gould did it into it being Hammond's fault.
Oh, of course.
Naturally.
Why not? Yeah.
And at the very least, Woolsey thinks that their job should include some common sense and willingness to put personal feelings aside. Like 3 years ago in Chain Reaction, when Hammond gave SG-1 a little bit more time to get through the gate program. Really, come on. Like, you have to be reaching real far if that's where you go that Hammond...
Especially because it was 3 years ago at this point.
And he gave them an extra 15, 30 seconds to come through the Stargate.
Yeah. Knowing that without them,
like he would
they'd all be screwed.
I guarantee he would have done that for any gate team out there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not playing with dice.
But they're not normal dice, I was told.
They're not.
They look like D20s, guys, but they're counters.
They are D20s.
They are D20s, but they're not
D20s.
They're not rolly play with D20s. Okay. Because they're not numerically quote unquote random. Even though that's not actually random, but you know what I mean.
I know things. This has been Dice Talk.
Dice Talk with Nixie and Grace. So, and at that, like moral allegiance to friend has infected the team as well because it's such a horrible thing.
Yeah,
he points out 2 of Daniel's quote-unquote personal relations were taken as Gould hosts.
I wrote the word Daniel's paramours, and I don't know if they said that or if I made that
I think you made that one up.
But I like it.
But it works. They said personal relations. Teal'c has friends and family in high ranks of enemy Jaffa, and then there's that whole thing between Jack and Sam.
Oh, can we stop already? Sam has a boyfriend.
The little ditty between Jack and Sam. Which also, I kind of love that everyone knows about this.
Yeah, the entire world is like, just fuck.
No, this is not
like that crew. Like, everyone's like, just fuck, dude. Like, just already do it.
Everyone knows about them.
Literally everyone. At this point, they're surprised that you are not.
People who don't know about the Stargate program know that Jack and Sam should just get it on.
Like, we don't know what they do for a living, but those two need to hook up.
Hayes is like, I mean, so they have feelings.
When a random drunk person walks by you and you're like pre-boyfriend person, and they're like, you two are a great couple, and you're like, no, we're not. I give up.
I give up. Hayes is like, I mean, if they have feelings, that's fine. They're friends unless you mean wink, wink, nudge, nudge, a bang, bang,
friends.
Bang, and a bang, 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 and a bang, 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 and a bang. So, and then Kinsey's like, yeah,
it's just like, what is this conversation that's happening? Like, let's consider how petty this sounds right now.
It's so petty.
You're in literally, are they in the Oval Office?
Yes.
You're in the Oval Office talking to the president of a first world country, going, these people want to kiss each other, therefore then we should not have them be in business.
Yeah.
Can we take it back?
And then points out like how frantic and stressed Sam was when Jack was missing in Paradise Lost. And I was like, maybe it's because one of her best friends and like someone she sees and life depends on a fairly regular basis has gone missing.
God forbid.
Like her thought processes are not driven by her vagina.
Yeah. Sometimes people are complex creatures, believe it or not, even women.
Sometimes I have a hunch that Sam would be that way if it was Daniel or Teal'c missing too.
Yeah.
Just, Just because you can't function, you can only like function a penis or a brain at the same time.
Does not mean
Does not mean that everyone else can.
I like that. Some people can keep both running.
So Maynard is like, really, that's your entire evidence?
Yeah, no shit.
Which is what we're also saying.
Yeah.
That's your entire evidence. And Kinsey is like, look, there's nothing in the reports, but everyone can add up 2 + 2. And also, gossip is 100% true.
Also, I love a good soap opera, and that's basically who I am.
Like, Kinsey knows none of this for certain, even though we all kind of know it for certain.
No, but the fact that you're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, even if I were at work having a real conversation, and I knew that 2 coworkers were hooking up or having a relationship, that is not the conversation you have with your boss.
No.
That it's not, if the work suffers, you say, hey, this person seems to be having trouble with their work.
They are distracted from something.
Yeah. And you leave the rest where it is.
Exactly.
Because that is the professional thing to do.
Well, Kinsey's not exactly professional.
Fucking
Also, the president has had enough of this conversation. He goes, everyone scram.
Yeah. Get out.
So in Kinsey's office, Woolsey comes in. Woolsey doesn't think that it went well because it didn't. Kinsey says it doesn't matter. The president will come around. And he has to sound like he's hearing both sides, but eventually he's just going to side with Kinsey.
Yeah. Sure.
And if he doesn't, things happen.
This is the part where the second in command bad guy in the movie's like, oh, fuck. I have a heart and a brain and a conscience, and they work again right now.
So that thing I've been trying to ignore in the back of my brain has gotten a little loud.
Yeah.
So Woolsey, for all that, he just heard everything Woolsey has said through this entire episode. He is an upstanding guy.
Yeah, to quote Arrested Development, I can't remember who says it. I've made a terrible mistake.
And he doesn't like the sound of what he just heard.
Yeah.
And Kinsey says that Woolsey chose the right side. One way or another, Kinsey will win.
That's how you know you did it.
That's how you know you picked the wrong side.
The fact that people are picking sides within a group that's supposed to be working together, and you realize that
you picked a
bad thing. You did bad times.
Yeah. So Maynard comes back to the Oval Office. He has a one-on-one with Hayes here, and he did point out he's not going to get to like a point counterpoint in defending the SGC. But he does support Hammond and his people.
Sure.
He makes it very clear. And Hayes agrees that, look, they've done really well. But Hayes is still a politician. And he goes, there is a political side to this. Regardless of what they've done or how they haven't done, the SGC can't stay secret forever. And when it gets out, they need the public's confidence that this is running well, and cleaning the house shows that Hayes is in control.
See, maybe it's because I'm not a politician, but I don't understand the logic behind that.
I think it's because you don't have that cynical mind. Hayes thinks he has to put his thumbprint on this.
That's the thing. It's like, here's this program that's been running for 7 years.
Yeah.
Efficiently, we're gonna let it keep running. It's because I don't think like a politician.
Hayes feels like he has to put his thumbprint on it because therefore Hayes is like, no, I've got this.
Because my thought would be like, no, don't change it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm human and I'm alive and my country's not blown up.
Yeah.
And there's all these fucking crazy aliens.
Yeah.
Keep those guys doing what they're doing. They're clearly doing well.
Exactly.
If it's not broken, don't fix it.
So Maynard's like, maybe, but listen, right now with what's out there, you need Hammond and SG-1 there.
Basically, let me school you on the realities of what
and he schools him.
Yeah.
He goes, look, here's the situation with the Gould. Even with the disadvantage, we've made progress against them. There's the whole Anubis thing going on, and we get clips from Full Circle taking out half the System Lords.
Yeah.
And once Anubis is done with the System Lords, he's going to come back here, and we see the Predator from Evolution and the whole army of Predators from Evolution Part 2. And Hayes is like, well, even if that's true, what's one team going to do? He's like, you don't know this team very well.
You clearly are not understanding the words that are coming from my face.
They're going to find the Lost City. Hayes is like, coming in for Big Fudge.
Yeah.
Please give me the cliff notes.
Here's
There's
the
a lot of
showstopper.
files.
Ready for the showstopper challenge? About to blow your mind.
And he does. And he tells them about the ascended ancients and maternal instincts, that they're higher life forms, but it is beneath them to help us mortals out.
I do love that they brought this storyline in this way, because for the viewer, it's like, hey, viewer, remember it's been a while since we went to this, but this is still a thing we're doing.
Which is, I think, part of the whole reason for Eclipse Show. I think what they're doing is, there's some extra clips, like ones from upgrades and stuff, but a lot of the clips they're bringing in are like, hey, remember this for this big season finale we're about to do.
Before we get into season finale, let's just refresh your memory.
But we found a tablet talking about a lost city, and we get clips from Full Circle about it, and they're close to finding it, Maynard says. He goes, you need to let SG-1 and the SGC do their jobs and find this lost city.
Yeah. And
Hayes wishes it was that simple. Like, he can't just ignore Kinsey as much as we want him to.
Yeah.
Hammond and SG-1 have done an amazing job under extraordinary circumstances, but they also have made a ton of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And they've also made a bunch of enemies. And President Hayes honestly doesn't know if he can protect them.
But yes, everything's complicated.
Yep.
It's not black and white, but damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
And Woolsey, being the upstanding person he is, meets with Maynard after hours at the Pentagon without Kinsey knowing about it. And he warns Maynard that he's pretty sure Kinsey is dirty.
Yeah.
Tell me something we don't know.
Yeah.
And behind at least one assassination attempt on
someone.
Yeah. I mean, on himself.
Yeah.
And an attempt to get what he wants.
It was the idea of, I think the assassination attempt was.
Oh, no, the president. Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it?
Well, no, I mean, to me, what they point out later is the NID tried to kill him.
Yeah, and then he joined their side.
And then he joins their side.
Yeah.
But I think there was another assassination that, if I'm forgetting it, that he actually was. Yeah.
Got it.
Regardless of what Maynard thinks, Woolsey considers himself to be a man of integrity, and he truly does believe there needs to be civilian oversight of top secret military operations, and he's not going to apologize for that to change that.
Yeah.
But he's also like, this is not the way to go about doing things.
Right.
And he doesn't have proof, but he thinks that he's declared his allegiance to a horrible, dishonorable asshole.
Yeah. I've made a mistake.
And the
this
NID.
guy's insane.
Yeah.
Please help me.
And Maynard's like, well, if there's proof, go find it.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
So Woolsey visits Hammond, which is basically the last person Hammond wants to see.
Wow.
And Woolsey knows Hammond has no reason to trust him. And he does point out that he tries to be very non-partial in his work. Listen, I am very much lawful neutral. And he's honest in that he truly does think that Hammond and his team shouldn't be running the Stargate program. Yeah. He's not going to change his mind on that. He's saying this so that he understands that the next thing Woolsey says is also true in what he believes. And we recount Kinsey getting shot in smoke and mirrors.
Yes.
And Woolsey believes that there's a dark road element left in the NID that Kinsey is connected to, and he was a liability. So they tried killing him. And then he was an asset. Something happened, he became an asset, and they made him VP.
They used him in this favor. I'm almost convinced that it was a fake assassination attempt to garner sympathy for him so that he could get into office. And was like,
very well
got
could have
you
been.
into office, now you fucking owe us.
It could have been one of those where Kinsey didn't know about it. He's like, you're a liability right now, so we're just gonna, if you die here, oh well, we don't care that much, but it could play well to us.
Yeah.
Hammond's like, you're not telling me anything I'm surprised by.
Yeah.
Woolsey wants evidence. And Hammond has it.
He's like, lucky for you, I'm Hammond.
Woolsey knows the NID blackmailed Hammond, and he wants to know what Hammond has that was more powerful than that blackmail.
Yeah. Something.
Cut to chain reaction. It's all the documents that connect Kinsey to the NID that Mayburn and Jack collected.
Yep. Yep.
And what do you know? Hammond happens to keep a copy of that disc in his drawer, 3.5-inch floppy of blackmail.
Of course he does. Of course. It's a safety space thing.
Right at his fingertips. He has not given this to anyone before because he doesn't know who to trust in the government. And he still doesn't. This is not the only copy. And Woolsey takes it and leaves a folder behind and leaves.
Yay! We have a crazy, unstable ally, but he's there. I mean, he's not unstable, but
He's
the
not
alliance
unstable,
is
yeah.
unstable.
And he takes this disc straight to President Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, look, there's one last thing for me to add to my report.
Yeah. Duh.
The NID is not spotless. They done some shit, and he was acting on behalf of a businessman, which Hayes is like, I sort of wish it was just a businessman.
Right.
Because if it was just about money, then it's a little more predictable.
Yeah, than trying to fucking destroy everything all the time forever.
But he's like, Hayes goes, money can't be their only motivation.
Yeah.
And these other aspirations they have are way worse than just wanting to make money.
Yeah.
Hayes assumes Woolsey is here to tell him that Kinsey is still in league with them. And he's right. But Woolsey goes, if these people are that powerful, what did Kinsey offer them that was more than the price on his head?
Right. Right.
And what he offered them is full control of the Stargate program that being VP could give him power.
Which is why he's gunning for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because because also, if he doesn't deliver the Stargate program to the NID, he's fucked.
Yeah. It's one too many times, and the bookie's coming to break your legs.
Exactly.
Yeah. He fucked up.
So Woolsey leaves the disc on the president's desk, and he says he hopes history shows that he tried to do the right thing. Ooh. And Hayes asks, which version of history? Aww. And I say, who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
Yowza.
Because everything was back to Hamilton.
Yeah, we're getting the dominoes going.
Like I said,
the ball in
it
motion.
is a clip show, but
the Rube Goldberg machine just let the first little thing go. It's an OK Go music video all of a sudden.
OK Go music video. But I do actually like these episodes every now and then. I know a lot of people have in disclosure this because it's a little more, again, it's a little more Sorkin.
Yeah.
It's a little more sort of the dark side of politics.
Plus the people in the room seem to make a difference.
They want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens.
I am changing my AKA again to the Rube Goldberg machine of plot.
The Rube Goldberg machine of plot. Watch me try to spell Rube Goldberg.
I don't know that makes any sense, but I've had half a thing that's spelled. So that's what we get from me.
So next up is The Lost City Part 1.
Of Atlantis. I can't help it. I know where we're going, guys.
What's the Lost City?
Of Atlantis.
Is there a Lost City? Is Atlantis the Lost City?
I'm going to tell you guys a quick story.
Okay, what's your story?
About life in general. So we know that Grace likes adventure.
Yes.
There's the one thing I love is this idea of adventure and things.
I'm going on an adventure.
The one time I left the States or the North America.
Yes.
I went on a trip with a friend of mine about 10 years ago now. And we went to Italy, and we went to Croatia, and then we went to Greece, and I had one specification. I was like, I give no shits where else we go.
Yeah.
But we have to go to Santorini. Yes. Because Santorini and we have to stay somewhere on the Caldera side. Okay. Because that is where the lost city of Atlantis is. Because that is where the volcano dropped the city that was at the base of it, and that's my theory of Atlantis.
Also, there is a Sequest DSB episode where they find the lost city of Atlantis, and it's not there.
Dang it! That's where it is, guys. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Where do you think the lost city is?
Oh,
is it off Santorini? Like, is it something that's simple? Is the lost city something here on Earth?
No, I hadn't considered that at all. I planet, but now
planet that we have seen before. Is it on a planet that's connected to the Stargate system?
Crap.
Is the lost city a city Or is the Lost City like a planet like Coruscant?
I think it's a planet.
Okay.
I think it's its own planet. Now, I think there's a Stargate on it.
Okay.
I don't know that the people on the planet have access to it.
Okay. Okay.
That's my thought.
Alrighty. So,
So ready.
so the Lost City is on a planet that's
The lost
connected to the
planet of the
Stargate
city of
system, but it's still buried, and there's people living on the planet, and they have not found the Stargate.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I think.
Alrighty.
And they need help somehow, and then we help them. Oh God, I'm ready. Let's do
Okay, we're gonna go watch Lost City Part 1.
Guys, you know where to find us on Twitter. We're at Terra Podcast.
And Facebook, we're at There's No Place Like Terra.
You can email
She's
us
so
at
excited.
There's No Place Like Terra at gmail.com.
Patreon.com/There's No Place Like Terra. We will have both Farscape and Sequest DSV coming at you soon.
Like us, rate us, review us. I'm sorry I squealed. Bye guys, bye.
Bye.
I just